Well, hello, hustler. Welcome to another episode of the Wellness Hustle. I'm Brit Tincup. I'm a creative designer, a serial entrepreneur who lived with chronic stress that had me testing every health and fitness tip and trick that would make me feel like myself again. And I'm joined by my co-host, Sasha Fisher, an ex-pro athlete, personal trainer, and nutritional therapy practitioner with years of experience helping high-achieving individuals to reach their health and fitness goals. We're here to redefine what wellness means, simplifying health, fitness, and self-care, empowering you to fuel ambition and embrace wellness, because we believe that hustle isn't a bad word. When applied properly, it's a superpower. Now let's jump in. Welcome back to another episode of the Wellness Hustle. We are so happy you're here for another episode. Today we are talking about our morning routine. And so I kind of just want you to kick it off, Sasha. Will you talk about your morning routine? How did this come to mind for you?
Well, I think morning routine sets you up for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about this episode and remembering what a hot mess I was right after college. And we all have our stories. My story was I'm not a morning person. So I had to be at work, not super early, 8 o'clock. If you think about it, it's not that early. And I was stressing over it. Yeah. And I lived 2 blocks away downtown, like 2 blocks away from the office. And I slept until 7:45 every morning. And I will jump out the bed. I will put some clothes on. I will put mascara on. I will brush my teeth. And I will literally sprint for 2 blocks from the building I lived in to the office. And I swear to God, people probably were like, oh, it's 2 till 8 because this chick is running down the 4th Street. You can set your time on me running.
She's like running a 4-4, just trying to get to work.
On my heels with my purse over my shoulder. And I run in and I throw my purse on my chair. And then I will go across the street to Starbucks. And I will get my skinny latte because we are back in skinny days.
Yeah.
And a blueberry muffin. And I will bring it back to work. And that was my morning routine when I was 27 to 30.
Talk about a cortisol spike first thing in the morning.
Blood sugar,
all of it. Oh my God.
Yeah, a little bit of exercise, but I don't know if it was beneficial.
Just getting an early morning sprint in.
So this is where we started. So you can tell I had a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah.
And over the years, I would say I definitely created an amazing routine, but it took me so long. So why I'm telling you this story is because don't get disencouraged. It took me over 20 years to get where I am right now with my morning routine.
Yeah.
And I did rewrite my story that I'm not a morning person anymore. I love my mornings, but you have to start in the evening to love your morning. If you are watching Netflix until midnight, it doesn't matter what your morning routine is, you are not going to love your mornings.
So I am a morning person. I am like the person who wakes up singing. It's a joke in our family. My dad and I are the same in that way. Like we literally walk up.
You're my mom.
Oh yeah. I wake up and I have a million questions for you and I'm ready to go. Like it takes me 15 minutes to come to in the morning. But once I do, it's like, Jesus, Joseph and Mary, somebody give that girl something to calm down on. So my morning routine really has to start at night because if I don't, I am a ball of chaos in the morning. And it's not even like that I'm rushed for time or anything like that. It's just that like I'm really squirrely. I'm all over the place. I feel like, again, with my ADHD, it really just is hard for me to get a hold of that early on in the morning. So having a strong morning routine has helped me be more productive throughout my day.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Not being snappy, not being rushed, not being, you setting yourself up for that day.
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing, whatever you're carving for yourself in the morning, I think it's very important to go to sleep earlier so you can have little extra time in the morning for yourself. Because a lot of us have kids, like we don't, but I have a furry kid and he needs attention too. So, I mean, we all have different things in the morning that we need to do, not just for ourselves, but for others.
Yeah.
So you have to create a little bit of room for yourself. So your day is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, that's really it. And I think that I hate this analogy, but I just keep using it. It's the oxygen mask.
Oxygen mask.
And it's truly like, it is that. You have to put your oxygen mask on first in the morning. If you don't take care of yourself first in the morning, then how are you going to be able to support all of these other people, all of these other pets, all of these other priorities?
You're going to be craggy.
Yeah, and overwhelmed. Okay, so I think let's start with your morning routine, because it sounds like, again, just like as being a morning person, morning routines were always kind of like what the heck is that to me? Because I didn't know that I needed one because I woke up ready to go. Like I didn't have a hard time getting ready for school in the morning or any of those. Like even in high school, it was never an issue for me.
Lucky.
I am so blessed in that way. But again, I know that if I don't do my morning routine the correct way or the way that I need it to be, then I do, like, a lot of my test scores make a lot more sense in high school and college. And like a lot of my productivity makes a lot more sense throughout that time. So I think, like, obviously, you know, we've identified a need for change in your early on 27-year-old Sasha's need for change. So talk to me a little bit about like how you upgraded your morning routine once you identified that change that was needed.
I think for me, it was gradual. Not until I got into wellness, I really started to think about, maybe I should do something about this. My crazy morning. But it took me a while to add different things into it and really starting to get up. Like now I get up at 6 and it's a big deal because to me, if somebody told me even 10 years ago, you need to get up at 6, I would have a full freak out moment. Like that's really early, but now it's not a problem, right? So whatever you did the night before is very important. I know I said that before, but so mine got built on kind of stacking, like we talked about it before. But I started with the water.
Yes.
First thing. So that was my first day. I started with water. Then I started adding apple cider vinegar to my water. So now it's not just water, it's apple cider vinegar water first thing in the morning that I drink.
Okay.
And it works for me. Okay. Sometimes it could not work for some people, but it works for me.
Okay.
And I take my spirulina chlorella with that. So it's a good source of protein, antioxidants. So I put that first thing with water and apple cider vinegar. And after that, I added my ice face plunge. And it's something I've read about and I thought I'm going to try. And now I'm absolutely craving it. So I set up a big bowl and I put ice in there, water, and I'm stacking kind of a thing. So I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing my ice plunge face into the water. And then in between, because some people just do it once, but I'm crazy. I want to do it like 6, 7 times because to me it feels so great. Yeah. Like I can't even explain the feeling. It's not when you diving in, it's when you coming out of it. Yeah. You rush of that blood to your skin. It just feels so awesome. It wakes me up because I'm not a morning person. It wakes me up. It makes my mind more clear. It makes me more positive. It makes me more excited about the day. So I love my ice plunge.
Also, can I just say that you're doing a really hard thing first thing in the morning?
Exactly. So you do that, you tell your body, do it, and your body does it. So it's just training your body to follow your command.
Love it.
So, and in between, I'm unloading my dishwasher. So I'm moving, I'm putting things away, I'm feeding my dogs, I'm doing things that are just like typical mindless, but wakes your mind up because you're moving around. And then after that,
again, we're getting some productivity in there. Right. I'm just like noticing like the mental behavioral things that are like, okay, so you did a really hard thing. Now you're doing a thing we don't really like to do, but we have to do. And like that also is a little like simplified movement and like you're being productive. So you're kind of mentally getting into that mode. It's good.
But the first thing I forgot to say is that the very first thing before I get out of the bed, I always have Moon come over and we cuddle and we say gratitude together.
Yes, we do that too.
Do you guys let you say? So Moon and I, we're always grateful every morning, and then we go into the face plunge. Yeah, he doesn't. He watches me, and he gets to eat little ice. Oh, he loves to eat little ice. So yeah, and then I'll do my mushroom coffee. And I go and I do, well, we forgot to brush teeth. That was number 2.
I was
But it's not that important, right?
Yeah, I was making assumptions.
Yeah, that I brushed my teeth.
Yeah.
It was gross. And then, so then we go and get dressed, and I started just in 2025. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. It's just been in the back of my mind. I need to do it. I need to do it. And finally, I've been really consistent. I didn't skip one day yet, 2025. I've been doing yoga every morning, 20 minutes. So I find through filter 20 minutes on Peloton. I put it on and I do every morning 20-minute yoga, and I feel awesome.
That's amazing. I love that you're getting, again, like you're getting the physical movement in, you're getting the productivity in, you're getting the gratitude in.
Yep.
You're hydrating. I just think it's fantastic. And I just want to touch on, so I do something similar, but it's not as intense as what you're doing with the ice face plunge.
Yeah.
I started doing that for anti-inflammatory purposes.
Yes.
But I do, like, our water gets really cold in the morning here.
Yeah.
And so I splash cold water on my face.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the first things I do. And it genuinely, I have noticed that it makes a big difference.
Like, it does. That's cold. Try the ice plunge.
I'm going to.
You should. Also, it helps with anxiety.
Oh, okay.
Ice plunge. So it's not just for your face benefits. It does help you with the pore sizes, like with the skin complexion, all of the things for your face, but also it helps you with anxiety.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, for those of you who aren't watching, Sasha has incredible skin. So,
oh, thank you.
Yeah. So maybe I'm going to start doing the face plunge.
Yeah, I think you should. I'm such a gift. When my girlfriends come to visit, like for girlfriend stay, they all do face plunges with me in the morning. I make up.
I love that. Okay, I'm gonna start adding that in. So, do you not drink coffee in the morning?
Well, I do mushroom coffee, so it does have a little Arabica in the mushroom coffee. So there's a blend of mushrooms and a little bit of coffee in there. So yes, I do.
Okay. I am a hardcore coffee drinker, so that's always like, I look forward to getting up just so I can have my coffee.
Oh, I love coffee.
Yeah. So I had to ask that. What kind of brands, flavors, like what are you doing with this mushroom coffee? I want to know more.
So I tried the water and then Rise I like the most.
Okay. I've tried.
So far.
I actually have 2 pouches of Rise. My problem is I'm drinking so much in the morning, like liquids, that I'm like, okay, I need to back off, and I really love my routine right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stick with it. But yeah, moving your body while you're doing chores and like getting the face plunge in, which is a hard thing. I just love this so much. I love that you got this down.
I do, and I'm looking forward actually to it.
Yeah.
And the way I do it is like in my office, I have a little corner where I set up with my yoga mat and my little candle and my little like yoga blocks and the yoga strap and like the meditation pillows there that my friend gave me, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. So all of this is just set up really cutesy, and I can't wait to get there.
See, and that's the thing too, is your morning or your morning routine shouldn't be something that you just are so not looking forward to.
Right.
Like, these are all really fun things, and some of them are hard, but the benefits of them make them so great that you kind of become addicted to them.
I think so. Maybe that's how I feel. Maybe I'm crazy, but you guys let us know. But I love my morning routine.
If you're crazy, then I'm batshit. So
okay, we can't wait to hear yours. What do you do?
Okay,
and how it started.
So my morning routine actually starts at 7 p.m. the night before.
Well, yeah, we didn't touch on that. Mine does too, but
okay. Mine has to, because I think that the least amount of friction you have in your morning, the better your morning will be. And that's just, for me, again, I'm super squirrely. So the second I have one thing that's out of place, I really need the habit stacking in the form of like the trigger item that brings you to the next item that brings you to the next item.
Yeah.
If I do
little
crumbs, if I do the crumbs out of order,
I know.
I'm fucked. Like,
you got fucked one time here, but I decided to help you to set up the podcast situation, and you didn't do that crumb, and then next thing you know, we don't have sound.
One time we didn't have sound?
Yes.
One time we didn't have sound, and one time I didn't hit record.
So now you get to do the whole thing yourself. I'm like, I'm not helping.
Yeah. I have to have things that way. And it is maybe like a little bit detrimental to being able to delegate tasks to people, but I really do need to have it that way. So my morning routine starts 7 p.m. the night before, and it's really simple. I just fill up all of my waters that are going to need to be available the next morning. So like, I have an espresso machine. The water has to be filled up.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
My water filter, I have one of those reverse osmosis, so I make sure that that's filled.
Yeah.
And make sure that the little canister is full with water, and then I fill up all of my waters that I'm gonna take with me to bed. And by that I mean like one, and then I do my gym one for the next morning. And then I have some other stuff, we can talk about that later. But then the next morning I wake up, I do 15 minutes in bed. I'm up at 5. So the joke
Girl, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to 5. I'm so proud of my 6.
I'm proud of you.
So proud of my 6.
But that's like, again, bio-individuality. Like some people wake up and because mine waking up at 5, people are like, you're so lucky. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not. Because if we're out at a concert or anything like that, even if I'm sober through the concert, if I go to bed at 2:00 in the morning, I'm still up at 5. If I don't set an alarm, I'm still up at 5. I've had like friends, my girlfriends, I'm the annoying girl in the girls trip.
Yeah.
That's like up at 5 a.m. Like, okay, what are we doing now? What are we doing? And it's like, so now I've created a space for myself that's better. And luckily my girlfriends are really sweet about it. But so I wake up at 5. I have 15 minutes in bed with Sage where we just like snuggle up. Yeah. I go through my gratitudes. I kind of just come to. Yeah. And then I do all the teeth and things like that. And then
all the ones you want to keep.
All the ones I want to keep. Yeah. And then I splash cold water on my face and it's super cold. Yeah. And I do tongue scraping too, which
I have not done it. Maybe I need to add that.
I'm addicted.
I don't know how much I can squeeze into my morning. Maybe I need to get up at 5 at this point.
No, it takes like 2 seconds to do. And it's such a great, like, I just feel like my oral hygiene has been so much better since scraping my tongue.
But I brush my tongue with the toothbrush. It's not the same? It feels different?
I feel like it feels different to me.
Okay, I'm going to try it. Do you buy like a tool for it?
Whole Foods has them. Okay. It's like a little U-shaped tool. I just scrape it.
So you're trying face sponge, I'm trying tongue scraper.
Yes.
Okay.
I also feel like you can get further back on your tongue with the tongue scraper.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I do that, and then I splash cold water on my face like 2 to 3 times, and then I go through my skincare routine. I do a lymphatic massage on my neck and face, which seriously, you guys, it takes me 3 minutes. It's not that long. And I use like just a rose hip oil that I get from The Ordinary at Sephora, and it cost me like $10, I think. And then I go downstairs with the dog, and I put my gym clothes on.
Yeah, very important. Otherwise, you're going to lounge away.
Yeah, I put my gym clothes on. I go downstairs. I do my, I start with a bone broth. Uh-huh. So my bone broth is the Paleo Valley chocolate protein that they do. It doesn't have, I want to say.
It's in the powder form or is it liquid?
It comes in powder form. I want to say it has like 2 grams of sugar, if not less. It's next to nothing. Yeah. It's a good source of collagen. Yep. I feel like it's a good foundation before I put coffee in my body. Mm-hmm. And while that's being prepared, I take my vitamins with water, but I think I'm going to add the apple cider vinegar like you just mentioned. And
see if it's not too acidic. It could be too acidic for some people first thing in the morning.
Okay.
For me, it's fine. Yeah. And also you're doing the bone broth, so it might be okay after the bone broth to add some apple cider vinegar. Okay. So try and see.
So I do that, and I take my vitamins or my supplements, which are, I take 2 probiotics, and then I take a liver pill that I love that's like specific for female organs. Yep. And then I have Symbiotica's glutathione and vitamin C. Mm-hmm. And I am up in the air about all of these supplements right now, so we'll probably get into that later. But I do that, and then I go have my bone broth, and I write out all of my to-dos for the day. I have to do this. I rewrite them every single morning. I love it.
Some people do so they can cross them off.
I like to cross them off, and I find that if I don't rewrite them, then things will just stay on my list forever.
So it's kind of like subconsciously remind yourself, these are the things still on the list. Yep. And then get through that.
Once I'm done with that, I'm usually done with my bone broth. I go make myself an Americano. I go sit back down, and while that's cooling, I do a 10-minute breath work on Opal. Just to be clear, this sounds like a lot, but this whole morning routine takes me like 30 minutes, 45 minutes max.
Yeah, that's what mine is about. Well, I do yoga for 20 now, so everything besides yoga is like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Like a 20-minute yoga, and then my clients started to come in because I work from home.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky in that sense. Yeah.
So then from doing the breath work meditation, I just started a breath work. I used to do just a standard meditation. I feel like the breath work has been really so much better for me. And Sasha and I were talking before we recorded this. I feel like a different person, and she's noticing a difference too. Like,
oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I am so much more calm. I'm so much less squirrely. I feel like more mental clarity.
Focused, you stay like on one thing.
Yep.
Yep.
And then from there, I hop off the couch and I go to the gym. 45 minutes at the gym, usually an hour. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing. But it makes you feel good. It makes you feel productive. It makes you feel like you had time for yourself before you start giving to somebody else, like pulled by clients, by work, by tasks. So when I did not do the morning routine like that, I would get so irritated. Because I think mentally we need to love on ourselves first thing in the morning before we can start kind of give the love away to others. Okay, so is it always been the same way like this, your routine, or did it evolve over the years? Obviously, you were in hot mess like me.
Yeah, it definitely has evolved. Well, my hot mess is just different. Like, I think that it's just so different. Like... And that comes with my situation, right? Like when I would wake up in the morning and I wouldn't do these things, first off, when I didn't have things to look forward to get out of bed, I would just lay in bed for a while on my phone.
Oh, scrolling.
Yeah, or checking my emails.
Okay.
And then I would start with my emails, and then next thing I know, I'm super stressed out because I know that I have 1,900 things I need to do. Yeah. And that was not my 1,900 things I needed to do. That was the external world's 1,900 things I needed to do. Yeah. So then I would be like, just again, feeling that chaos, and I would immediately jump into work. So then next thing I knew, it was so bad at one point, like when I was working for an accessories company and traveling a lot, like I'd be at hotel rooms, sitting in the hotel room and like working on my laptop in bed. Before I even was able to get a cup of coffee. Like, I would just be, like, immediately on my laptop. So, and then next thing I know, I'm doing that until 9 o'clock at night. And my whole day has been just, like, down this rabbit hole of things that need to get done. My obligations to other people. And I would just feel so drained and kind of unproductive in a weird way, because it was, like, I just felt like I was being pulled in so many different directions.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then when I started my own company, that it only got worse, like just way worse. And so now I just feel that I can take this routine with me everywhere that I go. And I don't seem to have an issue with it. And like, even when I've done trade shows for Hayden and Flux, I go to the trade show and I can do those same exact routines in the hotel room. Like, I'll plan ahead what my routine's going to be before, because obviously I can't do coffee in the hotel room sometimes, like especially when the trade show's in Vegas. Yeah. It's just like, okay, the first thing I do, what is my routine going to look like, and how am I going to get those whatever things? And I go through that process in my head the night before. So it's honestly, I think it's made me a better person.
I think so. It made me a way better person.
Yeah.
I'm not a crabby monster like I was.
Yeah. And and when you have too much chaos, like, and I call it chaos, but it's really my symptoms of ADHD, but like, that really, the hardest part about getting on medication for ADHD was realizing how much that impacted my loved ones, like the people who I was working with all the time, and my family and I just didn't realize how much that was impacting. And like I mentioned in the previous episode, I have recently come off of my medication, and again, don't do this without a doctor's consult. Like, I went through a whole process, but I feel so good. I didn't feel good for the first 2 months of coming off of it, but I feel so good now. This is the best I felt in probably years.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you, honestly.
No, me too.
It's a big deal, you guys. Big deal.
It's a big deal. It was really impacting my life. So, okay, so how can we help our listeners upgrade their morning routine?
Yeah, back to them. Yeah. I think start small. Yeah. Like, and just think, what are you most excited about? Like, what do you want to try the most? Is it the ice plunge for your face? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's the just first thing drinking water, getting up and drinking that water in. Because a lot of my clients, when I work with them, they don't drink water first thing in the morning. They start with coffee, right? So maybe just drink water first thing in the morning and see how that goes for you.
Yeah, I think that's really the big thing is just figuring out like, and again, you're hearing from two opposite sides of the spectrum. Sasha's not a morning person.
Right.
I very much am a morning person. And so you have to figure out what works for you. Like when I say that my morning routine has to start at night, it's because when I'm starting that process, I'm thinking about what my morning is going to look like. I'm kind of running through. It's almost like visualization.
Right. Similar here. And also, if you don't go to bed early enough, you're not going to be able to get up a little bit early to do the things that you want to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Because majority probably have kids, other things to do, get up early. Some people have office work, jobs where they have to leave the house early. So yeah, you have to kind of keep that in mind, that if you're carving some time for yourself in the morning, where is it going to come from?
Yeah.
Because you have to get up a little early, then you need to go to bed a little early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
We try to go like 9:30 before 10. Sometimes we get naughty, and if it's approaching 10 and we're not in bed yet, I get super angry. We gotta go to bed.
So my mom, for those of you who don't know, I'm really close with my parents. They live 7 minutes from me, and my mom does what you do. So she will she doesn't literally kick me out of the house, but like 7 o'clock will be approaching.
Yeah.
My mom is so strict about her routines.
Yeah.
That 7 o'clock starts approaching, and she's like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I can't, you gotta leave. Like, I gotta do all my things. Like, I gotta get my shower, and then I gotta get my lotion, and then she'll like run through. I'm like, okay, I'm going. I gotta get out of here. So it is so funny. But I think that part of my routine being set that way is because my mom does that to me.
Right.
And I'm like, hold on. So then that forces me home. I'm home by like 7:15 at the latest. And then I'm like, well, now I'm home. I'm going to start cleaning up, picking up, putting the things away.
Yeah.
And then I'm in my routine. And next thing I know, I've got this whole nighttime routine.
So you got to thank your mom for that.
My mom is a saint. We love that woman. But yeah, sorry, I digress. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how different Sasha and I are in our morning routines and how we have different situations of one person is a morning person, one person is not. And I think you have to figure out if you're not a morning person, maybe if you're someone who likes to wake up at 8, maybe don't shoot for 6 right out of the gate.
Exactly.
Like,
I didn't.
Yeah, start with like 7:30.
Yes.
For a month. And then start with 7. And then like if you're...
Exactly.
Because you have to figure out when your time to wake up is too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody really talks about that. It's like, my time is 5. Like my body decides it's 5 o'clock. And like yours is 6.
Mine is, I would say it's getting there naturally, like 6:30 probably, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Like on the weekends, I would not set up alarm, and I would get up probably like 7 or so.
Okay. That's still better.
But that's huge for me.
Yeah.
Before it would be like 10.
See, and that's really important. If it was 10 on the weekends for you before.
Now it's 7, you can train yourself. You really can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And don't make this huge jump because then you're going to get discouraged.
Oh God, yeah. You'd be so tired, cranky. Defeats the purpose.
So I think that, and then like find a fun thing. Like maybe it's something we've said, or maybe it's something you've heard before where it's like, that sounds so fun. I want to try that.
Yeah.
Try that one thing for a while. See what you think.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Mm-hmm. No, and always start small. I did at one point, I tried I was really on a wellness podcast kick. Shocker. But I eat this stuff up. Like I love that. This is what I do in all my spare time. I'm reading about it. I love it. So, and sometimes I take on too much. And so I did do that and it made it worse for me. Like I just added all the things in. I was doing like the under eye patches and and then I'm like, that's another cost I have to add in. Like, and then you're doing all these supplements and it's like, do I even need all these supplements? And am I supposed to eat these with food? And I don't eat food until like 9. So this isn't going to work. And again, just being flexible and understanding what your needs are. And making those adjustments. But yeah. Okay.
All right. What are our takeaways today, Brit?
I think our takeaways are that a great morning routine really sets the tone for energy and productivity.
Yep.
and great mood, stabilization in that too, really setting the tone for your day.
Yep.
I think really Sasha's step-by-step upgrades show how like small changes can make a big difference.
What a difference that is, right? 15 minutes of just like throwing things around and running down the street, and now I'm like getting up at 6 doing yoga. Who is this girl?
So I just think that like, if Sasha can build it from 15 minutes of sprinting down the street, then you can build it to like
anybody can do it.
Yeah. And that is not a dig on Sasha. It's just like,
oh no, it's a dig.
Yeah,
it could be. It should be.
But like living in a city too, it's just you get caught up in the things so quick.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I've been there. And yeah, personalize your routine and let it evolve with your needs. I mean, there's no need to. There's so many things you can do to change your life for the better, and the fact that you can get really overwhelmed is not lost on us. So just step by step, one day at a time.
Yeah. And make it your own and make it fun, because I'm looking forward to all of the things.
Well, your little yoga session sounds like a blast.
It is. I love it.
I love going to the gym. So like my little end cap is like I get to go and be in the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Wellness Hustle. We love you so much, and we're so appreciative that you're here. If you also loved this episode, share it with friends. Yeah. That helps us grow, and yeah. Is that the whole thing? I think
it's the whole thing. This is nice. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
See ya.